acabou com a nossa caçada aí, ó. Vamos ter que chamar a polícia imediatamente.
There's no possible way. There's no possible way that someone can move the blinds from that outside of the room. There's no possible way somebody can just come up here and move the blinds.
I will behold you. Now you can hold you. And on hand.
Hold deep. No, this is too short.
Jack runs a metal detecting channel, usually turning up old coins and forgotten relics. This time he went deep into a forest chasing whispers of gold. At first the finds were ordinary, but then the air changed. A sharp smell. Birds circling, a feeling he couldn't shake. Moments later, he found the truth. Not treasure, a body.
O tanto de cabelo, gente. Uma maçaroca de cabelo. Puxa vida. Começa aqui. Olha aqui, ó. Gente do céu. Acabou com a nossa caçada aí, ó. Vamos ter que chamar a polícia imediatamente. Ficando aí. Gente, é uma cena lamentável. Misericórdia, gente. Misericórdia. Fica aqui, Faísquinha. Coitadinho, Faísquinha, não entende. Gente, acabou nossa caçada. Olha que situação, gente. Nossa senhora. Mas que... É daqui que tava vindo o cheiro. Vem aqui, Faísca. Tem que pegar o Faísca, senão ele vai pra cima.
Jack called the police and waited. They confirmed it was a woman and said little else. His hunt ended without gold, but he did something far more important. He helped bring someone's daughter home. A woman was filming what could have been her future home when she unknowingly captured something deeply unsettling. As she turned her camera toward a closet, a faint whisper echoed in the background. The words were distorted and hard to understand, but it sounded like two short phrases, possibly, "Don't buy."
Oh my god!
The audio was never clear enough to confirm exactly what was said, and no visible source of the sound could be found. But whatever that whisper truly meant, hearing it in that empty house was enough to stop her in her tracks and make her seriously reconsider buying the home. In December 2020, a Reddit user were helping a friend unload items from his truck into his house. With the constant back and forth, the front door stayed propped open the entire time. Once they were done, the three of them stood just outside the doorway, laughing and talking, relieved to be finished. Then, out of nowhere, the friend's phone buzzed. It was a motion alert from his Ring camera, mounted directly in the centre of the front door's window. When they checked the footage, their mood instantly shifted. The camera had captured a dark shadow moving inside the doorway. The silhouette clearly resembled the side profile of a man's head and shoulders. The unsettling part? They were standing right outside the open door, and they were the only people there. None of them had seen anything move with their own eyes, and the shape didn't match any of them. To this day, they still have no explanation for where the shadow came from, or what the camera really caught. A Reddit user once shared a chilling piece of mail he received about a credit card class action settlement. The address was correct, but the name on the envelope wasn't a name at all. It read, "Help me and alone. Need help? Thanks." Unsettled, he posted it on Reddit, where commenters urged him to contact the police, fearing it was a hidden cry for help. No update ever followed. To this day, no one knows who sent it, or whether anyone was rescued. A father was filming a sweet moment while playing with his child, when something deeply unsettling happened. In the middle of the video, the bedroom blinds suddenly began moving on their own.
Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean, you hit SpongeBob though. Yay! Last one. 3, 1. Huh? 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1.
Confused, he recorded a second clip showing the room's layout and explaining that the blinds can only be moved from inside. There's no way anyone could reach them from outside.
So this right here is the room where it actually happened. Hey. So I was just sitting here with my daughter. Well, she was actually on the bed playing with her toys that she always plays with. All of a sudden, I didn't understand what was going on, because the only way you can move the blinds is if you're inside the room. There's no possible way that someone can move the blinds from the outside of the room. There's no possible way somebody can just come up here and move the blinds from the inside.
The same time, his security camera captured footage showing the blinds shifting with no visible hands, strings or contact. As if that wasn't enough, a follow-up clip shows the light switch flipping off by itself.
Bring up security footage, POV from when it happened. I'm just gonna zoom in and you just tell me what you see.
Oh, you got it.
There are no fucking fingers. There are no fingers in the middle of this. Nobody's moving the blinds.
No.
The left to the right side.
Okay. Oh. Yeah. Yay! Oh, you got it. No, almost. I mean...
Pulling this off would require perfect timing and hidden mechanisms, but none were visible, so the question remains, was this an elaborate setup or a genuine, unexplained encounter? On January 21st, 2012, a small group visited Lake Minnewanka in Banff, Alberta, to test whether the ice was safe for skating and to take a few photos. While standing near the frozen lake, something unsettling happened. They began to hear a strange, echoing sound rising from the ice. The noise was loud, deep, and lasted far longer than anyone expected. It didn't sound like cracking ice or wind. Later, when the story was shared online, people from all over the world claimed they had heard the same sound in different places. To this day, no one can say for sure what caused it, and that mystery is what makes it so chilling. On January 29, 2021, a YouTube video captured a terrifying moment on Mount Everest. Climbers reached a massive crevasse that could only be crossed using a ladder. As one climber stepped onto it, he suddenly slipped and plunged headfirst into the icy void. A single rope stopped his fall just in time.
How can I help?
Your leg has to be down. Yeah, just.
At that altitude, one small mistake can be deadly. The team reacted fast, pulling him back up.
Don't worry, Ellen. Don't move.
Ellen, I will behold you. Now you can hold him. Another hand.
Hold deep in there. No, is this too short?
Alan, can you kick your crampons into the walls?
Yeah.
Ice walls?
Yes.
Slowly.
Okay, just relax now. Relax now.
Catch your breath. Catch your breath. Just
Catch your breath.
safe.
Shaken but alive, he had narrowly escaped death. A woman stepped outside late at night to let her dog out. As soon as they reached the stairs, he froze, locked in on the dark woods. After a long pause, he finally went down, then vanished. When she called his name, there was no answer.
There you are. Come on. Rocky, where'd you go? Rocky?
Nervous, she followed and heard a faint cry coming from the trees. The yard was empty.
Come on, dude. Rocky? The hell? Rocky? What are you doing up there? I thought you were down here.
Confused, she turned back toward the house. Her dog was standing in the doorway, already inside. The clip went viral because there was no other path, no stairs, no way for him to get back in that fast. Which left one chilling question. If that was her dog outside, what did she just follow into the dark? While hiking deep into the woods on a camping trip, this camper suddenly heard gunshots echoing through the trees. Nothing was visible, no hunters, no movement, just the sharp cracks of gunfire rolling across the forest. He froze, listening, unsure whether to turn back or keep going.
There it goes again. It's gonna be 4. And so it's like a really weird place to shoot. I think the trail goes that way. Maybe it's just me being paranoid, but I have like a weird feeling. Why the fuck are you shooting right off trail? Only 4 shots. Maybe he only has a 4-shot gun. You can hear him moving.
Eventually the woods went quiet again, so he continued toward his campsite, hoping the rest of his trip would stay peaceful. But the night had one more surprise waiting. Out of nowhere, a goat wandered into his camp and refused to leave. Even after he scared it off, it kept coming back, staring at him like it owned the place.
For like 6 hours, and this is now the second time I've had this guy here. Hey goat. Hey goat. How you doing, bud? What you doing here, man?
After the gunshots and the uninvited visitor, would you stay another night in a forest like that? TikToker Georgie Juju recently shared a photo taken when she was just 9 years old. During a visit to an old abandoned building, she's always said she never believed in anything paranormal, but this image still makes her uneasy to this day. It was dark and she was holding a flashlight. As the beam hit a surface, it reflected as a sharp glare. But inside that glare, 2 shapes appeared, shapes that looked unsettlingly like eyes staring back at her. Some viewers insist it's nothing more than a trick of the light or simple pareidolia, the brain finding patterns where none exist. Others aren't so sure, wondering if something else might have been standing there with her that night. The photo remains unclear, and no one can say for certain what caused those shapes, but whatever it was, it continues to spark debate and leave people unsettled. Someone snapped this photo on a cold winter evening inside a bar. At first glance, everything looked completely normal, just friends enjoying the night. But later, when they went back to review the picture, something unsettling appeared. Behind one of the women was a pale face partially formed with what looked like eyes, a nose and a mouth, but not quite like those of any normal person. They scanned the bar afterward, searching for anyone who might match it, but no one did. Most people say it's probably just motion blur, someone walking past at the exact wrong moment, and that explanation makes sense. Still, there's something about the image that lingers. Even knowing the likely reason, it's hard to shake how eerie it looks. A woman went solo camping in remote southwest Alaska, where everything felt peaceful, until one rainy night after midnight. She jolted awake as a brown bear slammed into her tent, the sound echoing in the dark while she lay frozen, clutching her bear spray. After a long, terrifying silence, she calmly retreated to her car and waited until morning. At daylight, fresh tracks revealed the bear had walked straight from her car to her tent, proof of how close she'd come to real danger. A TikTok user went exploring with family through a mangrove, just hoping for a calm, fun walk surrounded by nature. But as they went deeper, things took a frightening turn. The water, once ankle deep, began to rise until it reached their waists. That's when it hit. This area was known to be infested with crocodiles. Every splash, every ripple in the murky water felt like a warning. Turning back wasn't an option. The only way out was forward. Their hearts raced as they carefully pushed through, unsure of what might be watching them from below. The silence of the mangrove made it even worse. Every second stretched longer. Would you dare to walk through waters like that, not knowing what could suddenly rise from the depths? This person's mother was out hiking when she stumbled upon something she'd never seen before, a group of huge, shaggy animals wandering casually across the trail. Confused and amazed, she pulled out her phone to record them, knowing she might never get a moment like this again. When she shared the video online, people quickly identified the mystery creatures, Scottish Highland cattle. Known for their long horns and thick, fluffy coats, these gentle giants are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, originally from the rugged Highlands of Scotland. Imagine turning a corner on your peaceful hike and seeing that staring back at you. Would you walk closer for a better look, or slowly back away? While hiking late at night, a man suddenly noticed something chilling ahead.
Things you don't want to see looking at you at night. See the eyes? I see you. Yep.
There, deep in the darkness, a pair of glowing eyes stared straight back at him, his body locked up. For a split second, his mind raced, unsure of what could be watching him from the forest. Heart pounding, he slowly moved closer, and that's when the fear faded. It wasn't anything sinister after all, just a small group of deer standing silently beside the trail, their eyes reflecting the light as they calmly watched him pass. Still, that first moment, absolutely terrifying. A Reddit user recently posted an old photo their grandma took years ago at Gettysburg Cemetery, and it sparked a lot of debate. The user leans toward a simple explanation, saying it's probably just a sun flare. Still, there's something about the image that's hard to ignore. In the photo, a strange figure appears to hover over a gravestone, looking eerily like a bald man's spirit. Some people argue the figure looks too modern, almost as if it's wearing a jacket and jeans, while others insist it resembles an old uniform. Despite the theories, many viewers agree it's likely nothing more than a trick of the light, but once you see it, it's hard not to wonder. What do you think? A Reddit user recently shared a chilling clip of a raven, and it instantly sent shivers through viewers. The bird clearly mimics human speech, even laughing at the end, which made it especially disturbing. To many people, it felt less like a bird and more like a person trapped inside one, or something dark trying to imitate humans.
Сейчас очень много снимается сказок. Русь, ты меня перебиваешь. Ты в курсе?
Конечно.
Конечно.
Here's the rational explanation though. Just like parrots, ravens are incredibly intelligent and have advanced vocal abilities. If they're exposed to human voices often enough, they can learn to copy words, tones, and even laughter. Still, there's something far more unsettling about a raven doing this than a parrot. Now imagine encountering this in the wild, alone. And what exactly was it saying? In 2018, a hiker caught something unsettling on camera while trekking through the woods. The creature in the video crawled on all fours, completely hairless, moving in a way that felt wrong.
Stop, Holden.
It didn't look like any animal people were used to seeing. When a similar image surfaced online in 2019, the internet ran wild. Some claimed it was proof of mythical creatures like the skunk ape or something even more sinister hiding in the forests. The real explanation, though, was far less mysterious, but just as disturbing. It was a black bear suffering from severe hair loss, likely caused by mange or another serious skin disease. When bears lose their fur, they can't regulate body heat, grow weak, and often don't survive long in the wild. Still, it's easy to understand the panic. If you stumbled across a hairless, crawling figure like that in the woods, your mind would probably jump to something supernatural too. The couple thought they'd found peace when they moved into a secluded home deep in the Appalachian Mountains. But not long after settling in, that calm began to unravel. Strange noises echoed through the woods, voices carried where no one should have been.
POV, you moved into a house in the Appalachian Mountains and woke up to this the next morning.
Their dogs, normally relaxed, grew anxious, staring into the darkness and refusing to settle. Then came the moment that shattered any doubt. One morning, they noticed a face pressed into the condensation on their back door window, clear enough to tell that someone had been standing there, silently watching from the other side. In a place so remote, so cut off from the world, the realization was terrifying. If no one was supposed to be there, then who was? A TikToker headed out to her barn late at night to feed her animals. Nothing unusual, until everything changed.
Okay, Dad, she is fed and feisty. What are you doing, baby? Okay, so I fed her. I will feed the barn. Okay.
As she scanned the darkness, a pale, ghost-like figure appeared, standing perfectly still in the shadows. She paused, her body tense, then forced herself to walk away as calmly as she could. Once she reached her car, panic set in. Her keys were gone. Moments later, she found them lying right behind the vehicle, a place she swore she never dropped them.
Okay. Oh my god. Stop!
That's where the video cuts off. Some people believe it was staged, others think she encountered a mimic. But anyone familiar with the Appalachian Mountains knows that things out there don't always have simple explanations. A user going by Superman8078 was walking past an abandoned house in Ohio when he casually snapped a quick photo. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but later, while looking back at the image, something unsettling caught his eye. A shape in the window that looked eerily like a face staring out. Was it just shadows and light playing tricks, or something far more mysterious? Unsure what to think, he shared the photo online and asked others for their opinions. So, what do you see? Morgan Lambert, who lives deep in the Appalachian Mountains, woke up to something unsettling. A sharp, clear whistle echoing outside her cabin. She admitted she'd made one mistake, opening her window for fresh air.
Just saying good morning. This has been happening for like 10 minutes.
The sound wasn't coming from any visible person or animal. It drifted in from the woods, repeating over and over with no clear source. That's when the warnings came to mind. Appalachian folklore says you should never respond to whistles in the forest. Some believe they're meant to lure people off their path. Others say answering them draws the attention of something that's already watching.
Like, I
don't know if you caught what I said. It's morning. It's daytime. And Girlie made the mistake of opening up her window when she woke up to get some fresh air.
Whatever it was, the woods kept whistling, and Morgan stayed inside, window shut, listening. Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a hidden trail camera captured something no one expected. While reviewing the footage, the owner noticed a dark, seemingly hair-covered figure moving silently between the trees. Its shape didn't match any known wildlife native to the region. So what was it? Had the camera recorded an unknown presence wandering the Appalachian forest? YouTuber Frankly One Twiv and his brother once ventured into an abandoned cemetery, a place left to rot and forgotten by time. They filmed their eerie exploration, sharing every chilling moment with their viewers, until something unexpected happened. As they pushed through the overgrown grass, a strange glimmer caught their eyes. Between the twisted trees stood a figure, holding a lantern that seemed to belong to a bygone era. Heart racing, they trained the camera on it, but the moment they looked away, the figure vanished into the shadows. After that night, the channel went silent. Some say what they saw scared them into stopping forever. Others whisper that something far darker might have befallen them. To this day, no one knows for sure. It remains a mystery. While out on a hike, a Reddit user stumbled upon something bizarre. An entire hillside blanketed with garden gnomes, each one meticulously positioned and all staring in nearly the same direction. The discovery went viral, sparking thousands of guesses about who put them there and why. But despite all the speculation, the mystery of their origin was never solved. Back in 2016, a camera hidden deep in the North American wilderness captured a chilling figure. Tall, unnervingly thin, with a distorted head and hollow, empty features. It looked neither human nor animal. When the image surfaced online, some hailed it as proof of the legendary Wendigo, while others dismissed it as a clever hoax or Photoshop trick. With so few details available, skepticism is natural, but what if it's real? Late one night, while heading back from a hike, a man stumbled upon something unsettling hidden inside a tree. A tiny, handmade figure, crafted from twigs and string. Curiosity got the better of him. He pulled it out, snapped a photo, and then did the unthinkable. He brought it home. As soon as he shared it online, warnings began to flood in. "Don't touch that," people said. "It's cursed." Undeterred, the man later posted an update. He was fine and planned to place it on a shelf as a quirky decoration, but the internet was unconvinced. Some things, they insisted, should never leave the woods. Some mysteries are best left undisturbed. While driving home, someone noticed something truly unsettling and decided to film it.
Eric, there's too much traffic. I swear to God, if you don't. Roll the window up.
From the edge of the woods, a figure emerged, moving in an unnaturally twisted way, its face completely obscured. From afar, it almost appeared headless. In this small town, where everyone knows everyone, and there are no homeless people, the sight was chilling. No one could identify it, and no one dared get closer. What if it wasn't even human? Slipped in the rocky stream, tumbling toward the waterfall. The rocks were jagged, slick with rushing water, and she barely missed hitting her head. Her body skidded and twisted, the force of the current threatening to drag her over the edge. Another lady rushed to help, but in an instant she too lost her footing, falling forward with a splash. The first woman reached out, gripping her hand, but even that wasn't enough. The narrow ledges offered no mercy. What if they had both tumbled all the way down the mountain? What if the current pulled them into the jagged rocks below? The mind races imagining shattered bones, broken limbs, and the roar of water swallowing them whole. She walks alone on a narrow trail high in the snowy mountains. No roads reach this place, no cars, no people, just endless white and a cold wind that won't stop. Her eyes are already teary as she lifts her phone to record, her breath shaky. She feels lonely, exposed, and afraid. She keeps walking, hoping to see footprints or a figure ahead. Nothing. The snow is untouched. The silence feels wrong. The wind grows stronger. Her steps slow. The ground shifts beneath her feet.
Fucked. This is what I have to climb, and look how deep that snow is. And I can't go all the way back to where I came because it's like way too long. It's all the way up there, then all the way up that ski lift, and then all the way across to there. I can't do this.
Did she slip on ice? Did fear make her lose balance? Or did something unseen happen to her? The video cuts out, but what if she didn't fall on her own? She walks along the edge of the mountain, the path narrow and uneven beneath her feet. Loose gravel shifts with every step, reminding her how easy it would be to fall. One wrong move, one small trip, and she knew she wouldn't stop until the mountain ended below. She forces herself not to look down. The fear is instant and sharp, tightening her chest.
No. Oh my god, this is literally terrifying. This is literally so terrifying. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm over here. Oh my god.
The wind brushes past her, light but unsettling like a warning. Her heart pounds, caught between terror and a dark curiosity. How far is the drop? Why does the edge feel like it's pulling her closer? She keeps walking, slow and careful, knowing how thin the line is between standing and disappearing. The deeper he walks into the woods, the quieter it gets. Curiosity mixes with fear. Then he notices the stems shaking, something huge moving between the trees. A shadow looms, almost like King Kong, but unclear. He runs without looking back, heart pounding. He doesn't know if it's following or watching from behind. Every step feels dangerous. Will it catch him? Or will he stumble before he ever knows? He's hiking at night, filming his path through thick woods and tangled bushes. Every rustle, every shadow feels amplified. The camera shakes in his hands as fear creeps in. Then he stops, turns slowly. There it is, a massive figure looming in the darkness. He can't tell what it is. He screams, and then silence.
Tengok si anjing! Goblok ngejar anjing! Goblok ngejar! Anjing! Goblok! Ngejar cok! Ngejar! Ngejar cok!
Did it turn toward him? Did it follow? Or was it something else entirely, watching, waiting? The footage ends before answers come. They were hiking at night, moving through thick, eerie bushes that seemed to gather in shadows. The group stuck close, every rustle making their hearts pound. Then, far ahead, they saw something red. They had to zoom their cameras to make sense of it. At first it was still, but suddenly it shot upward, rising like a human, or like an angel. They all screamed. After that, nothing is certain. Did it follow them? Did they find their way back, or are they still lost in the dark with the red figure watching? He hiked alone, the forest quiet except for his footsteps. Then he noticed it. Fresh blood smeared along the trail. His heart raced. Fear gripped him, but he kept praising God step by trembling step, trying not to look too closely. Then he saw something ahead, something dark, twisted, moving in the shadows.
Jadi kepalanya teman-teman. Astagfirullah. 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 Allahu Akbar. Astagfirullahaladzim. Allahumma sholli ala sayyidina kepala. Allahu Akbar.
Did he collapse in terror, or did he somehow find the strength to keep walking? Nobody knows for sure. Only the blood marks remain. A group of adventurous hikers decided to try the giant swing, a daring game where a rope harness holds you as you fall, swinging over the forest floor. One by one they climbed, laughed and jumped, trusting the rope to catch them just before hitting the ground. But what if the rope suddenly cut? What if someone fainted mid-air, losing all control? The thought made their laughter stutter. Cookies and rice they had brought for snacks sat forgotten on the ground, tiny witnesses to the risk above. Would the rope hold? Or would the forest claim its own that day? A man filmed as he descended a staircase that seemed to go on forever. The steps were tiny, narrow and uneven, stretching down into a dense thicket of bushes below. Around him, other people were moving slowly, one by one, step by careful step. Every glance downward made his stomach tighten. What if he slipped? What if someone ahead fell, causing a chain reaction? Could they all tumble into the bushes below? The crowd pressed forward cautiously, each person waiting for the one in front. The staircase felt endless, tense, and fragile. A slow, nerve-wracking descent where every step seemed to hold a dangerous secret. Imagine hikers cliff camping during a storm, wind screaming, rain lashing, the rocks slick beneath your boots. You're hanging off the edge, rope tied to the camp. Every gust makes the rope strain, every thunderclap echoes in your chest. What if the rope fails? What if someone falls off the cliff into the darkness below? Panic rises so sharp it's almost physical. Who would follow? Who could save? Them? You try to pull the rope back, your hands slipping, soaked and trembling. Why are you even pulling it? To save them, or to stop the inevitable? The rope holds, for now. But the fear doesn't let go. Every second is a choice between trust and terror. Groups of people had hiked a mountain, a sheer peak wrapped in mist and jagged rocks. Around them the slopes were steep, almost vertical, and the height could make one's stomachs twist. They were trying to climb down, carefully picking footholds, hands gripping rocks and vines. Why take such a risk? What could they possibly gain from clinging to that cliff? The fear was visible in every trembling movement, yet they pressed on, slow step by slow step. A man was on the mountainside attempting what he called a precision jump, carefully stepping along narrow iron rods, one step at a time, testing balance and control. Each move required total focus. But halfway through, he slipped. He fell, plunging toward the river below. The water hit him hard, and he landed awkwardly on his leg. What if it broke at that moment? What if he lost all sense of balance and tumbled further? Every second was a knife edge between skill and disaster, and the roar of the river made the fall feel endless. A man carefully stepped onto a bridge perched at the edge of a cliff. It wasn't just a bridge, it looked like a ladder too, a strange mix of both. The steps stretched endlessly in front of him, disappearing into the mist. He couldn't see where it began, couldn't see where it ended. The bridge shook with every movement, swaying as if alive, and his heart raced with panic. He wasn't alone. Others were crossing too, each step slow, tense, deliberate. What if he slipped? What if his leg gave out mid-step? What if the bridge itself betrayed him? Every second felt like teetering between trust and disaster, each shaky plank a reminder of how thin the line was between standing and falling. When he walked on that tiny rock path, fear gripped him with every step. On his left and right was nothing but an endless drop. No ground, no safety, just open space where a single misstep could send him plummeting. He couldn't move sideways. He couldn't look around. Panic pressed into his chest, making each breath sharp and shallow. He forced himself to look straight ahead, only forward, one careful step at a time. Any slip, any moment of weakness, and it would be over, death, or a life broken forever. The path demanded focus, courage, and control. Looking ahead was the only way to survive. Deep in the woods, mountains rose like jagged teeth, each slope facing another, creating shadows that twisted in the fading light. Between them, a narrow staircase descended, worn and uneven. The lady stepped carefully, one foot after the other, the planks groaning under weight. The forest was silent, but the height made every step feel like a risk. What if someone slipped? What if a misstep sent them tumbling down into the darkness below? Fear clung to the air like mist. Every glance around, every rustle in the trees made hearts pound. Curiosity fought panic. What awaited at the bottom, and who would dare reach it safely? Two men approached a dark hole, its edges slick and narrow. Water trickled from somewhere deep inside, forming small streams that glistened under their lights. They could see exactly where the water came from, winding through the rock like veins in a living thing. Cautiously they entered, moving through the shallow, cold water step by slippery step. The hole seemed ordinary at first, but what if it wasn't? What if they got stuck midway, trapped in the narrow, watery shaft? Panic would rise instantly, hearts hammering, lungs tight with fear. Snow blanketed the mountain staircase, each step hidden beneath a thick, icy layer. Two hikers were making their way up, one in front, the other not far behind. The wind howled around them, carrying the bite of the cold and the sharp scent of fear. Suddenly the front hiker's foot slipped. He tumbled down, the snow crunching beneath him, a blur of motion. In an instant he collided with the hiker behind him, sending both of them sliding uncontrollably. The staircase, narrow and steep, offered no mercy. Some bystanders rushed forward, grabbing at them, anchoring them just enough to stop a complete fall. But the danger didn't vanish. Every step they had taken was now overshadowed by what could have gone wrong. Could someone have hit their head on the icy stone? Could the slide have ended in a fall down the mountain, lost to the snow forever? The hiker squeezed himself into a narrow cave wedged between massive rocks, the space tightening around his shoulders and chest. The air was cold and damp, and every sound echoed too loudly.
It's fun! Let's go!
Panic crept in as he realized how little room he had to move. What if he got stuck and couldn't pull himself out? What if something sharp or alive brushed his leg in the darkness? His mind raced, imagining teeth, claws, or a shape slowly approaching from deeper inside. This hiker took on one of the most terrifying trails imaginable, a narrow mountain ridge with nothing but sheer drops on either side. The top was so thin that a single misstep could mean certain disaster. The jagged, rocky path demanded every ounce of focus, making each step feel like a test of nerve and skill. Yet, instead of turning back, he pressed forward, drawn by the adrenaline and the breathtaking, terrifying views stretching endlessly below. Every gust of wind, every shift of loose rock made his heart pound harder. It was beautiful and deadly. Would anyone dare hike a trail where one slip could be fatal? Could you face the ridge knowing the mountain waits for the smallest mistake? During a routine hike, this man never expected his peaceful walk to turn into a heart-stopping moment. Out of nowhere, a massive alligator, far bigger than anything he'd ever seen, crawled right across his trail. It was huge, powerful, and close enough that he could hear its claws scraping the ground. He froze, barely even breathing, choosing to record the moment rather than risk a single wrong move. Thankfully, the giant creature went into the lake beside the trail and disappeared beneath the water, but the question still lingers. What if it hadn't? What if that beast had decided to charge instead of walk away? Out in the wild, one unexpected encounter can change everything in a split second. This person's mother was out hiking when she stumbled upon something she had never seen before. A group of huge, shaggy animals wandering casually across the trail. Confused and amazed, she pulled out her phone to record them, knowing she might never get a moment like this again. When she shared the video online, people quickly identified the mystery creatures, Scottish Highland cattle. Known for their long horns and thick, fluffy coats, these gentle giants are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, originally from the rugged Highlands of Scotland. Imagine turning a corner on your peaceful hike and seeing that staring back at you. Would you walk closer for a better look or slowly back away? While camping alone in the woods, this camper experienced a moment straight out of a nightmare. In the middle of the night, while lying quietly inside his tent, strange movement began circling around him. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, shuffling through the leaves.
All the time, as well as...
Turn off the light, turn off the light.
Okay, that was weird. What are the odds something just walks next to us?
Well, they got it.
Something was outside, close enough that he could almost feel it leaning in, stalking the thin fabric between them. He didn't dare move, didn't dare breathe too loudly. He just stayed frozen, hoping whatever lurked outside would lose interest and drift back into the darkness. Minutes felt like hours until the sounds finally faded away. Was it an animal? A person? Something else entirely? Out here in the woods? Sometimes silence is the only thing keeping you safe. While hiking along a quiet forest trail, she suddenly froze. Hanging from the branch of a tree was something unnerving, a strange figure made of sticks and husks wrapped with a red cloth. It swung gently in the breeze, almost as if it had been placed there on purpose. Watching. She didn't dare touch it. She simply recorded it and moved on, heart racing. When she posted the video online, people claimed it looked like a handmade corn husk doll, the kind some believe is used for warding off spirits, or inviting them. But who put it there? And why in the middle of the woods? If you stumbled upon something like this, would you investigate or leave immediately? While hiking deep into the woods on a camping trip, this camper suddenly heard gunshots echoing through the trees. Nothing was visible, no hunters, no movement, just the sharp cracks of gunfire rolling across the forest. He froze, listening, unsure whether to turn back or keep going.
There it goes again. It's gonna be 4. And so it's like a really weird place to shoot. I think the trail goes that way. Maybe it's just me being paranoid, but I have like a weird feeling. Why the fuck are you shooting right off trail? Only 4 shots. Maybe he only has a 4-shot gun. You can hear him moving. It's not. I'm just like sketched out, like a little weirded out.
Eventually the woods went quiet again, so he continued toward his campsite, hoping the rest of his trip would stay peaceful. But the night had one more surprise waiting. Out of nowhere, a goat wandered into his camp and refused to leave.
I've been here for like 6 hours, and this is now the second time I've had this guy here. Hey goat. Hey goat. How you doing, bud? What you doing here, man? What's going on? Why do you keep coming back? Bro, I'm trying to scare you out of here. I have a fire and everything. I'm sorry, man.
Even after he scared it off, it kept coming back, staring at him like it owned the place. After the gunshots and the uninvited visitor, would you stay another night in a forest like that? While this hiker was miles deep into the forest, far from any trailheads or other people, he stumbled upon something truly unsettling. Hanging from a tree was a small wooden cabin, but not an ordinary one. Inside it were 2 eerie dolls staring outward, positioned as if they were watching the woods. The moment he saw them, the air felt heavier. Every rustle, every snap of a twig made him look over his shoulder. It felt like the forest suddenly had eyes. Who put those dolls there? And what were they meant to monitor? A warning, a ritual, a prank gone too far? From that point on, his peaceful hike turned into a nerve-wracking journey back to safety. Something wild happened while this group was out on a river, just cruising and enjoying the ride, until suddenly a massive hippo burst out of the water and started charging straight at their boat. It wasn't just following, it was chasing them hard, like it wanted to flip the entire boat over. For a moment, panic took over. The only thing between them and disaster was the speed of their small boat, and thankfully it was just fast enough for the hippo's huge body to fall behind. Eventually the angry giant disappeared back into the water and they escaped unharmed. But imagine if it had caught up. What would happen if a creature that powerful got close enough to make contact? While this person was hiking deep inside the forest, he spotted something that made him stop in his tracks. At first, it looked like just another old tree, until he moved closer. The shape in the bark formed what looked exactly like a skull, hollow eyes, a nose cavity, and even the outline of teeth. It felt almost like the face of something or someone was trapped inside the wood, silently watching him. He quickly took a picture and shared it online, and instantly people had questions. Was it natural? A strange growth pattern? A tree disease? Or could it be something more mysterious hidden in the forest's history? What would you do if you saw a tree staring back at you? This hiker set out for a peaceful day on the trail, but it quickly turned into a fight for survival. As he moved deeper into the woods, he reached a section of the trail swallowed by thick, slick mud. One step in, and the ground beneath him turned to a slippery trap. His boots slid, his balance vanished, and every movement felt like a battle to stay upright. With nothing solid to hold on to, he had to dig deep, steady his breath, and fight his way forward inch by inch. What should have been a simple hike suddenly became a test of strength and composure. Would you keep pushing through, or turn back when the trail itself becomes your biggest enemy? A Reddit user shared a photo that has everyone talking. The story goes like this. A couple visited a state park in West Virginia during the off-season. The park ranger mentioned they were the only visitors that entire week. No one else had been there for a long time. At the top of the mountain, they snapped a picture beside a stone pillar. But here's the strange part. Behind that pillar, there should have been nothing, just a steep drop straight into the woods below. Yet in the photo, there's something that looks exactly like a hand gripping the side of the pillar. So what is it? A shadow? A trick of the light? Or did something else make it up the mountain with them? While a group of friends were hiking deep in the wild, their adventure took a terrifying turn. Out of nowhere, a massive grizzly bear appeared on their trail, close enough that they could hear its breathing. No one dared move, no shouting, no running. They all knew one wrong reaction could be seen as a threat, and with a bear that size, there's no predicting what might happen next.
What?
So they stood frozen, watching the creature circle and stare as if deciding what to do with them. Minutes stretched into nearly an hour, the tension growing heavier with every step the bear took. Eventually the giant wandered off, leaving them shaken. But imagine being stuck like that. Would you stay calm or panic? A chilling video was shared by a Reddit user, and it captures one of the most intense encounters you can have while hiking alone in the forest. Everything was peaceful, the sound of birds, the rustling of leaves, until he noticed something massive moving forward in the forest trail. A gigantic moose with enormous antlers began walking straight toward him. You could feel his fear through the camera. He quickly ducked behind a tree, barely breathing, hoping it wouldn't notice him. Because when an animal that size decides to charge, there's nowhere to run. Imagine being deep in the forest, no one around, and this huge creature starts approaching you. Would you stand still and face it, or hide and hope it walks away? Sometimes nature's beauty can also be its most terrifying side. What would you do in his place? This chilling video was shared by a TikTok user who went hiking deep in the forest, just to enjoy the calmness of nature. Everything seemed peaceful, until it wasn't. Out of nowhere, a strange, thunderous growl echoed through the trees, loud, deep, and unsettling.
I think it's time to go.
He looked around, but there was nothing in sight. No movement, no sign of life. Just that terrifying sound getting closer and closer. It felt like an unseen predator was watching, waiting. Realizing something wasn't right, he decided to leave before things turned dangerous. But what could have made that sound? A hungry wild animal? Or something far more mysterious hiding in the shadows of the forest? If you were in his place, alone and surrounded by that sound, would you stay and investigate, or run for your life? Sometimes the forest is quiet until it wants to be heard. This fascinating and slightly eerie video was posted by a YouTube channel, Outer Range, who hiked through a mountainous area full of ancient ruins. As he explored deeper, he stumbled upon something truly unbelievable, a 2-story building built right into the mountainside.
That's what I seen when I was glassing, but on the backside, look here.
whole nother structure. Looks fairly, wow, look at that. Oh my goodness. See, it's built in, can't wait to get up there and see this.
The structure looked ancient, made entirely of clay and stone standing silently against time. It was clear that people once lived here, but why would anyone choose to build their home inside a mountain in such an isolated place? Was it for protection, a hidden community, or something far more mysterious?
There's like a pocket right over here. Very cavernous area here, but it only goes back maybe 2.5 feet. I don't want to walk in or try to get in because the way this door was built, or it looks a little, let's see if I can brighten this up. I'll just reach in here. It even has an old piece of timber in here that was used for something. Oh wow, this is so, goodness, look at this. Let's see if I can, hopefully you can see the walls they're just black, completely black. So this one little, if I could give you a dimension, it's like 5 feet by 5 feet. But look up here, look up above.
You can almost feel the whispers of history in the cold mountain air. If you were the explorer, would you dare to stay overnight in that old mountain house, surrounded by nothing but silence and shadows? Or would you turn back before discovering what still lingers there? Some places were never meant to be found. Think you've seen it all? This next moment will change your mind. This terrifying video was shared by a TikTok user who went hiking alone through a quiet forest trail. Or so she thought. The walk started peacefully, just the sound of leaves and birds, until she suddenly heard something strange. A loud growling, soft at first, whispering from the bushes. She stopped, looked around, but nothing was there. Then it came again, louder this time, closer. Her heart started racing. What could be inside the bush trying to get her attention when she was completely alone? Fear took over, and she did the only thing that made sense. She ran. But the eerie voice kept echoing behind her as she escaped down the trail. What would you do in that moment? Would you turn back to find out what was making the sounds? Or would you run before it's too late? Sometimes the forest speaks, but not every voice wants to be found. This video was shared by YouTuber Dave Explores, who ventured deep into a remote mountain range, but what he discovered left him speechless. Carved and painted across the Rocky Mountain wall were ancient red drawings, strange human-like figures, and symbols that looked far too deliberate to be random.
It's just insane to think about how old these are and they're still here. It is amazing. Like, I wonder what they were thinking about when they made these, you know? Obviously that one is of a person, but then what's this huge thing that looks almost like a fish in a way? And then a really tall person, look at that, it looks almost like a monster. Huge legs, just going way up. That's crazy to look at, isn't it? Over 200 years old, at least. Got the lizard person, and then whatever that was supposed to be. Looks like a face, doesn't it? That's what that one looks like.
The markings seem to have been there for centuries, weathered by time yet still eerily vivid, as if someone wanted their message to never fade. But what were they trying to say? Were these warnings, ritual signs, or perhaps a message from an ancient civilization that once lived here? If you stumbled across something like this, alone, in the middle of nowhere, would you keep exploring to uncover its meaning, or turn back before discovering something you weren't meant to see? Some markings tell stories, others warn you to leave. This intense video was posted by YouTuber Black Crag, who decided to take his adventure to the next level quite literally. He hiked high into the mountain valley, a place so steep and dangerous that most people wouldn't even dare to go near it. One wrong step and you'd tumble straight down the rocky slope below. Yet, He pushed forward, driven by the thrill of exploration and the breathtaking view waiting at the top. The wind roared wildly, echoing through the cliffs, as if warning him to turn back, but he didn't.
Gonna start concentrating and digging in, but before we do that, look at it. Look at it down the valley. Oh hell, cat bells there. That's stunning. The whole lot, look at it. Right, concentrate now. Let's go straight up here. A little bit polished. So we've got a bit of a decision point here. We can go around the edge here, look around to the left, and then up the back of this crag here, or we can just tackle it straight on. So we're going to go straight on. It looks pretty steep actually. Well, we'll go and have a look. So actually, yeah, as you get a bit closer, you can kind of see that you can just pick your way up anywhere, look, any which way you fancy. So let's try this way first. It is kind of polished, look, see that there? Quite a bit. But we'll go up this central bit here, and then that's pretty much it done, I think. Oh, I need two hands. Oh, I've got my foot stuck. Yeah, it was okay. It's a bit tricky with one hand and trying to film and point it the right way. But if you do come here, to be mindful, it is polished. It'll be different in the wet as well, and I reckon in the winter, if it ices up, that'll probably stay iced for quite a long time, you know. Even when other places have thawed, I bet it's covered in thick ice. So that's 2 done, 1 more to do here, and then it's pretty much straight up, I think. Straight, you know, kind of plain sailing. Get my breath back first. Oh, this looks very straightforward actually. It looks pretty tricky from below because you can't see this shelf, but it's alright.
Standing there surrounded by nothing but clouds and the raw pulse of nature, it was both terrifying and beautiful. Would you ever dare to climb this high just to experience that feeling? The edge of fear meeting the edge of freedom? Or would you stay safe below, watching from afar? Sometimes the best views come with the greatest risks. The fear doesn't stop here. It only grows. This eerie video was shared by a Reddit user, and it captures something truly unsettling deep in the woods. While hiking through the forest during a storm, he noticed the trees swaying violently, almost as if they were alive, fighting against the wind. One by one, the branches began to snap, and the trees groaned like they were about to collapse. The storm raged harder, but instead of running, he stood still, recording as nature unleashed its fury. The sight was both mesmerizing and terrifying. Imagine being alone in the forest, the wind howling, the trees bending to the point of breaking. Would you keep filming, or turn back before something falls your way? Sometimes, the forest doesn't need creatures or ghosts to be terrifying. Nature itself can remind us just how small we really are. What would you do in that moment? What comes next might be the most chilling part of all. This incredible video posted by YouTuber Josh the Intern might just be one of his most mysterious adventures yet. He discovered an 800-year-old document that described a hidden medieval prison, buried deep in the mountains, a place few have ever seen. Using only Google Maps and his courage, he set off on a long, exhausting hike. After hours of climbing through rugged terrain, he finally stumbled upon something chilling, an ancient stone tower, standing silent in the middle of nowhere. Inside, he found a dark cave, a prison carved into the heart of the mountain.
So I'm just by the structure I could see on Google Earth, and here is the cave we need to try and find a way into. And from here you can almost see that is bricks piled up. That is not naturally done. We'll go explore the structure beside it because it must be related, and hopefully we can find an entrance leading into that cave somewhere around it. Big, big brick walls. Question is, what is this structure? Is there any way inside? Oh, yes there is. Here we go. That is an entrance into the cave. That structure that we saw over there, this building that I'm in now, obviously housed the entrance inside, which confirms for us that this must be the prison. This must have been a guard post. I have never seen anything like this before. Look at this. I mean, it's exactly how it's described in the historical documents. We have found it. Whew, let's go inside and explore. You got a little structure here too. Maybe this is where the bed was? This was really built to be hidden. Here you can actually see a carved actual place here. Maybe they would have put candles to light it at night.
But why would anyone build a prison here? Isolated, unreachable, with no escape and no roads leading in or out. Who were the people once trapped here? Would you dare to hike into the unknown, chasing a mystery that's been buried for centuries? Some secrets were never meant to be found. This fascinating video was shared by Archaeolog, a YouTuber known for uncovering hidden treasures lost to time. While treasure hunting deep in the forest, his metal detector suddenly gave a strange signal. Something big was buried beneath the ground. Curious, he began to dig, and what he found left him completely stunned. Hidden beneath layers of dirt was an ancient box, weathered by time. When he opened it, the contents glittered. Coins, jewelry, and priceless relics, treasures that looked like they had been buried for centuries. But here's the mystery. Why would someone hide something so valuable in a place like this? Was it meant to be protected, or was it never meant to be found? If you were the one who uncovered this treasure, what would you do next? Keep it, report it, or dig deeper to uncover the full story? Every treasure tells a secret. This chilling photo was shared by a Reddit user who was hiking deep in the woods when he stumbled upon this. A doll's head, mounted on a stick, standing alone in the middle of the forest. He snapped a quick picture and turned back immediately. But the real question is, who put it there? Was it meant to scare people away, or is it a warning sign left by someone who didn't want to be found? The woods were completely silent, no one around, just this creepy figure staring back. If you came across something like this while hiking, would curiosity make you go closer, or would instinct tell you to run before things get really strange? Sometimes the scariest things in the forest aren't animals, they're the things left behind by humans. What do you think this could mean? This terrifying encounter was shared by Angbona TV, a YouTuber known for hiking deep into the woods and exploring eerie, mysterious places. While hiking deep in the woods late at night, he suddenly heard something that froze him in place, a faint movement among the trees. He turned his light toward the sound but saw nothing. Moments later, he said he heard a scream through the darkness. It wasn't an animal, it sounded almost human, yet no one was there.
So I do remember there was one time we had a crazy experience, but if I recall correctly, it was like back there. I swear I just heard something moving through the trees. Or maybe it was just a crackling from my campfire. Okay. was that, like, scream again? What the hell is that? I swear we hear that, like, every time we come here. Last time, too. I do have my knife on me, just in case. So I don't know if is out here, or why. I don't know why, it seems so much spookier out here. It seems like hazy down there. I could barely even like really see properly. Let me get my flashlight out. Either way, it's an adventure.
Alone in the silent forest, every rustle, every echo felt like something or someone was watching him. What could be making those screams in the woods? A wild creature? A lost soul? Or something far more terrifying that doesn't want to be seen? If you were in his place, would you investigate that scream or run for your life before it's too late? Fear lingers in the silence, waiting for its moment. While hiking off trail deep in a canyon within the San Bernardino National Forest, this Reddit user stumbled upon something that sent chills down his spine. A massive footprint pressed into the dirt. It wasn't human, at least it didn't look like it. The print was roughly the same length as his own foot, a man size 12, but nearly twice as wide. Nearby, faint impressions hinted at toes, yet this was the only full footprint. No trail, no follow-up prints, just one haunting mark in the earth. What could have made it? A massive animal? A trick of nature? Or something far more mysterious roaming the forest that night? If you were alone in the woods and came across a footprint like this, what would you do? Would you turn back immediately, or follow the trail to uncover what was left behind? This eerie video was shared by Squatch TV on YouTube. In the clip, a massive dark figure can be seen in the distance, its shape unclear, its movements unsettling. It didn't look entirely human, yet it didn't look like any known animal either. But one thing was clear, it was violently shaking a tree, as if trying to make a statement. The person filming captured it from afar, too afraid to get any closer, and honestly, who wouldn't be? What kind of creature has the strength to shake an entire tree like that? Could it really be a Sasquatch, or is there something even more mysterious lurking in those woods? If you were the one filming and saw a figure like that in the distance, would you stand your ground and keep recording, or drop everything and run for your life? Think you've seen it all? This next moment will change your mind. This video was shared by a Reddit user, and it captures one of the most intense encounters you could ever imagine in the wild. A photographer ventured deep into the woods, simply hoping to capture some stunning nature shots. But what he didn't expect was to come face to face with a massive bear creeping toward him. The air grew still, his camera still rolling as the bear came closer and closer. Luckily, he was prepared. In a split second, he pulled out his bear spray and used it just in time, sending the animal running back into the forest. But here's the real question. What if he didn't have that spray? What would you do if a bear started approaching you in the middle of nowhere, with no one around to help? Would you stand your ground, or run for your life? This eerie video, uploaded by Adam23817 on YouTube, has left viewers completely baffled. In the clip, a woman is out hiking alone in the forest, recording a peaceful moment surrounded by nature. But what her camera captured was far from peaceful.
Isn't this gorgeous? We are on the backside of Marylhurst College. I had no idea this was down here.
and probably wouldn't have if Izzy didn't chase a big white-tailed deer right through the woods. She is having the best time. Aren't you?
Just seconds after she starts filming, something strange moves in the distance, like a brown, shadowy figure gliding between the trees. It didn't move like a human, and it didn't stand like any known animal. What was it? She didn't even notice it while filming. But once the video hit the internet, viewers were quick to spot the mysterious movement, and everyone's been trying to figure it out ever since. So what do you think was lurking out there? Was it a person, a spirit, or something beyond explanation? And if you were in her shoes, would you keep recording, or run before that shadow got closer? From whispers to screams, this is the moment you'll never forget. This video was shared by a TikTok user who captured something chilling while walking alone at night.
So this frickin' thing, it's staring at me. It followed me home from the gifting rock. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now. I think I don't know what to do. But it followed me home and it is absolutely staring at me right now. Alright.
From a distance, he noticed a pair of glowing white eyes watching him, following his every move. At first he thought it was just an animal, but the eyes never blinked and stayed fixed on him no matter where he turned. What do you think those glowing eyes belong to? Could it be an animal or something far more sinister lurking in the dark? Imagine walking alone in the forest, miles from anyone, and realizing something is watching you, its glowing eyes tracking your every step. Would you confront it to find out what it is, or run before it gets closer? This eerie video was posted by a TikTok user who decided to hike deep into the Mojave Desert, miles away from civilization, with no signs of life and nothing but the endless sand and silence. But then, that silence was shattered. Out of nowhere, a bone-chilling scream echoed through the desert air. No one around, no footprints, no hint of where it came from. Just him, alone, surrounded by emptiness. Panic kicked in as he started running, his heart racing with every step. Imagine being miles away from help and you hear that same scream pierce the night. What would you do? Would you stand your ground and try to find where it's coming from? Or run before whatever made that sound finds you first? Because out here, no one can hear you scream back. Shadows hide secrets, and one is about to be revealed. This video was posted by MA Journey, a YouTuber known for venturing deep into the woods, exploring the unknown, uncovering hidden cabins, and experiencing the raw beauty and danger of nature firsthand. While hiking deep in the woods, the snow suddenly began to fall hard. Within minutes, everything turned white and eerily silent, the kind of silence that makes your heartbeat echo in your ears. The trail vanished. The forest looked unfamiliar, dangerous. But then, through the thick snow, he spotted something. An old abandoned cabin barely standing. That small shelter might have been his only chance to survive the storm. But here's the real question. Is that cabin truly safe? alone in the middle of the forest, with a snowstorm raging outside. Who knows what could be lurking just beyond the trees, watching. If you were trapped in a blizzard like this and found an old, forgotten cabin in the woods, would you take shelter inside? Or would you risk the storm and try to find your way out before nightfall? This chilling video was shared by a TikTok user who went hiking deep into the woods at night. Everything seemed calm, until their camera caught something truly disturbing. A dark shadow figure gliding. It appeared for just a split second before vanishing into the darkness, faster than the eye could follow. When the clip was posted online, viewers were left speechless, arguing over what it could be. Was it a ghost, a shadow person, or something far more sinister lurking in the night? Imagine being there, surrounded by darkness, and seeing a shadow move where no one should be. Would you dare investigate, or run before it returns? What do you think that shadow truly was? A trick of light or proof that something supernatural walks among us? This video was posted by Aventuras y Jose, a YouTube channel known for hiking deep into the mountains, uncovering the raw and untamed beauty of nature, and sometimes stumbling upon the most unexpected, heart-stopping encounters. While hiking through the vast mountain desert, he spotted something that instantly made him stop and zoom in his camera. In the distance, a figure was walking, then entered somewhere. A moment later, he saw someone moving into this cement tube, almost as if it were his home.
Desde aquí agarré una. Uy. Si es persona. ¿Será mujer o será hombre? ¿Quién sabe? Pero se ve que va bien. Yo lo grabo por cualquier cosa, mi gente. Pero a ese señor o mujer, o quién sabe qué será, mujer o hombre, no se sabe. Pero lo agarro muy lejos. Cuídense mucho en las montañas porque aquí hay mucha víbora cascabel. Ah, se metió. Fíjense mi gente que por allá vi que se movió algo. Parece que se metió en medio, pero no ha salido. Lo agarro lejos, muy lejísimo de aquí, pero esa persona ahí, uy, se oyeron como cuetazos. Pero ya a ver, por ahí está muy lejos. Por ahí ve, mire. Parece que es un tubo y hay algo por ahí. Allí vive alguien, ahí en ese, hacer como un tubo de cemento. Y por ahí como que es una casita o algo. Alguien que vive por ahí. Yo lo vi desde lejos, pero vi el bulto. Pero es persona, no es animal, ni es ni vaca, ni nada. A lo mejor sí, pobrecito la gente que vive así, no es fácil. Pero lo agarro lejos de aquí. Es una casita y un tubo por ahí. Ese tubo tiene hoyo por dentro y por allí vive alguien. Yo lo vi que iba caminando, pero no lo alcancé a agarrar. Y ahí, como está algo frío, ahí se me hace que está durmiendo. Sí, en continuación yo buscaba la ruta por donde voy, pero no he visto ni un coyote. Y aquí hay muchos coyotes salvajes aquí.
But here's the chilling part. This place was miles away from civilization, surrounded by nothing but silence and sand. Why would anyone live out here, completely cut off from the world? Was he hiding from something or someone? The thought alone sent shivers down his spine. What could drive a person to choose isolation in such a barren, unforgiving place? If you were the one who saw this, someone disappearing into a concrete tube in the middle of nowhere, would you get closer to find out the truth? Or turn back before you discover something you wish you hadn't? Unbodied uploaded this terrifying encounter in the mountain. They post terrifying videos on their YouTube page. They went into the Sandia Mountains, where there is a cave haunted by the legend of the Sandia Man, a shadowy figure said to lure women to their deaths. Would you dare set foot into a mountain with such creepy history? Their necrometer spoke. A single name, Jennifer. Locals whisper that women vanished here. Could this be one of them reaching out from the grave? And then, Jennifer is fault. Would you keep moving deeper? The words turned sinister. Bad spirit. I see your every move. Imagine standing on a dark mountain trail, knowing something unseen is watching.
We buried up here, basically. So 2000, and you know what's crazy, 2010s is actually like right around when they started finding all those women, right, buried up.
Yeah,
and
that's when they're finding all those bodies and stuff.
I think the bodies it just said hey guys, hello,
we come in peace.
Come in peace.
We're just here investigating. We don't want no harm.
It just said, what do you want?
We come to investigate. We don't want no attachments. We're just here to visit. We're not here for anything else. We're just here to investigate the mountain and the theories about.
Finally, when they get to a portal nearby, footsteps echo and voices whisper, "Get away."
Hey Carlos, I caught that on camera. That noise.
Oh my god, dude! Did you hear that?
Yeah, I caught it on camera, bro.
Was that like?
It was someone talking, bro. I heard it. It's like, get away, all crazy like that. And then I fucking freaked out, and then I slipped on the dirt and almost ran over Jay and fell off the mountain, all dumb. Cause I thought I was Superman.
No, it's this way. Don't go that way. It's this way.
See how steep that is, guys?
You okay? Is
if you only knew, we're like 50, 60 feet up.
Would you turn back or face it head on? What would you do in that shadowed moment? Think carefully. Some caves hide more than shadows. They hide predators. From one frightening moment to the next, this story might be the scariest yet. A YouTuber known for his solo rides, solo camps, and solo explorations, Ibnu Farsi Official shared a chilling midnight hike. He began his midnight hike toward Pring Sedapur. The night was damp, the rain light, but the silence was heavy. Passing through Istana Gunung Cemetery, a place villagers avoid because of its dark reputation, he whispered prayers. Then he went to these creepy trees called banyan trees. Under the giant banyan tree, the air thickened, roots twisted like claws, and shadows moved unnaturally. Would you dare go to a place like that at night? No one knows what that type of tree holds in the night.
Teman-teman, dan inilah pintu masuk ke area pemakamannya. Wow, istimewa ya tentunya ya teman-teman. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kita hanya ingin mengecek saja di jam 2 pagi seperti ini. Assalamualaikum ya ahli kubur. Punten.
Then he heard a sharp movement in the trees, a sudden sound in the darkness. Who or what was there?
Allah. Astagfirullahaladzim. Apa itu? Assalamualaikum. Punten. Ada sesuatu di sini?
Finally he reached Pring Sedapur, a site of rituals and offerings. Strange writings, incense, kept there for rituals.
Hakim. Seperti santet ini ya teman-teman. Sepertinya ada yang habis melakukan ini. 12.24 berarti ini sekitar. Tuh, pintu sebelah sana ditutup pakai seng. Itu bisa dibuka ya. Tapi yang sebelah sini terbuka. Mari kita lihat dan masuk ke dalam.
Who are the people behind these rituals? Was it a charm or the remains of a curse? The atmosphere was suffocating, as if unseen eyes watched every step. Would you dare walk here, alone? But things don't calm down for long. The next story proves that. Exploring with Angelo, a YouTuber known for his daring explorations, shared this terrifying camping experience deep in the woods. He drove into a forest known for its chilling folklore, and people claim to see the ghost of a little girl and a woman searching for her. But why do they linger here? What tragedy tied their souls to this land? As he got to the campsite, suddenly, a loud, unexplained explosion echoed through the wilderness. Was it the bridge collapsing, or something darker?
Guys, I don't know what the fuck just happened. What the fuck was that? I wasn't even recording, but holy crap, the sun is so bright, I can't see. Something literally just like exploded.
Later that night, as he sat by the fire, he heard a gunshot from a distance, but went to check where he could see anything, but found nothing.
But kind of once you cut it up, you start to realize how much more you actually... Okay, I just heard somebody yell out help again. Hello? Leave these here for a moment. Definitely just heard a gunshot.
Moments later, the sound of a door creaking echoed in the emptiness, but there were no doors, no house left standing. How do you explain a phantom door in the middle of the woods?
Okay, what the f***? I legit just heard like a door creaking. How is that even possible? There's nothing there.
Finally, heavy footsteps closed in. His mind is telling him that's a bear. Is it something far more sinister? With his gut twisting, he knew it was time to run. Some things in the forest are better left unexplored. Just when you think it can't get stranger, wait until you see this. This video was posted by Generic Chris on YouTube. He's known for his terrifying solo hikes in the forest, and this one turned darker than expected. The forest fell silent, the air heavy, as he started mounting his tent where he wants to spend the night camping, but the trees felt alive. Strange noises surrounded his camp. Every snap of a branch grew louder, closer. Would you dare stay in a hammock, exposed to whatever lurks in the dark?
And there's just so many fucking weird noises. Yeah. Let's see if I really sleep here the whole night. It's going to be fucking creepy, man. Yeah, it's very creepy, I'll say that. It's fucking creepy here. Yeah, I don't know if you have noticed, but I'm not an outdoors guy, so this is all pretty new to me. Never done this before.
After some while, he smelled something, like someone was standing right beside him. He's there alone. There was no one with him. How do you explain that?
To cook. The creepy thing. I just smelled someone. That sounds weird. But you know how some people, it's not like bad smell, like just body odor or like their smell. And it didn't smell like me. It is getting creepy again. Fucking weird.
And finally at night, he slept over alone there alone, protected by the wind and weather only. Would you dare spend the night alone in the woods, not knowing what might show up in the middle of the night? The forest hides what the eyes can't see. Sometimes, survival is the scariest story. From eerie to bone-chilling, this next clip drags us even deeper into fear. This video was posted by Cursed Urban, a channel dedicated to his terrifying camping and hiking experiences. What you're about to hear is one of his most unsettling encounters in the wild. He was settling into his camp when something strange happened. From the trail leading into his campsite came the sound of footsteps, heavy, deliberate. Yet no one appeared. Who or what was walking unseen through the camp?
That was... That was really weird. So there's a trail that comes back here from the property. And I just heard what sounded like somebody walking down the trail and then walk through the camp.
He switched on the spirit talker, asking if anyone was with him. And just then the app's first word flashed across the screen. Footsteps. How chilling is that? A direct response, almost mocking him, like whatever was there wanted to be known. Then came the scream. A blood-curdling scream from deep in the woods, close enough to freeze the blood. Was it human, animal, or something far darker?
Oh! Whoa, what the what was that? Hello? Dude, that sounded like somebody... Henry, that sounded like somebody screaming over there.
But what evil lurks in the Skinwalker Forest? Could it be watching even now? With all this coming out of the spirit talker, will you still dare to stay there? Remember, out here, silence doesn't mean you're alone. If your skin wasn't crawling already, it definitely will after this. I came across this chilling video on Cuba Mysteri, a channel known for terrifying solo camping experiences deep in the forest. From the very start, strange things happened. Cuba heard movement in the bushes. Was it just an animal, or something else lurking? As he set up camp, unsettling sounds and whispers echoed through the trees. Can you imagine being alone in the dark and hearing hands clap with no one around? Later, the forest grew even more disturbing. A faint sound of crying pierced the silence. But whose cry was it, when no one was there? And then came the breaking point. He saw a white figure, clear for a moment, then gone. Was it real, or something not meant to be seen?
Ini parah, teman-teman. Kuba saat melihatkannya dan benar-benar kapok merinding gitu. Gak habis pikir juga sih. Kenapa dia menghilang cepat sekali? Padahal Kuba pengen sekali juga sih, teman-teman, untuk Kuba melihat wajahnya kayak gimana. Tapi di saat kita melihatkan, teman-teman, wajahnya nggak nampak di kamera. Di mata Kuba pun nggak nampak. Makanya Kuba penasaran juga sih dengan sosok itu. Karena itu perempuan ataupun laki-laki, teman-teman. Ini aneh, Cuk. Tiba-tiba Kuba kok merinding.
Sometimes the forest doesn't just hide animals, it hides secrets. The last clip was chilling, but this next one feels like pure nightmare fuel. I came across this chilling video on Jupri Kareem's channel. He's known for his terrifying solo camp deep in the forest, and this one was different. Dupree admitted something felt wrong. The forest, usually calm and peaceful, felt heavy, unsettling, almost as if someone was watching him. Have you ever felt eyes on you when no one was there? Later in the night, things escalated. He suddenly shouted Allahu Akbar, as if something touched or startled him. Alone, in the darkness, something had grabbed him. But what?
Astaghfirullahalazim. Astaghfirullahalazim. Allah, Allah. Allah. Siapa yang narik aku tadi?
He tried to calm himself with prayers, yet the tension never left. Imagine being trapped there, forced to spend the night. Would you dare? Because sometimes the forest doesn't let you leave. Things only grow darker from here. Brace yourself for what comes next. This story comes from Danny Adventure 88, a YouTuber known for his terrifying solo hikes deep in the forest. In this video, he returned to one of the most haunted places in central Java, an old hut tied to dark legends. What he captured that night wasn't just unsettling, it was the kind of experience that leaves you questioning what really lurks in the shadows. As he tried to eat in peace, strange whispers echoed around him. No one was there. Would you dare to stay and keep eating if you heard that?
Ari.
Makan, Mbak. Makan. Mau minta makan, Mbak?
Things only got darker. Rocks began to fly from the shadows, yet no figure could be seen. Who or what was throwing them? And then he suddenly shouted prayers into the darkness. Something unseen had gotten too close. Can you imagine being all alone there, surrounded, watched, and unable to escape?
Apakah sosok kemarin itu sama dengan yang saya lihat untuk sekarang nanti?
The forest never reveals its secrets easily. Sometimes it only feeds on your fear, but things don't calm down for long. The next story proves that shows that. This video was posted by Exploring with Bear, a YouTuber known for his terrifying solo hikes into haunted forests. He ventured into a forest said to hide cryptids, strange deaths, and people vanishing without a trace. Alone, he set up camp near a cave entrance, but then rocks clanked back in response to his own act. Was something answering him?
I've heard a couple thumps now. Yeah, rock clanks.
was an answer. That was a deluxe answer. Oh my goodness.
As the night deepened, footsteps circled and shadows moved where no one should be. Would you dare sit there waiting in silence, knowing something unseen was just steps away?
So yeah, they lost. Oh, mosquitoes, man. They're chewing me up. What was that? Oh. What's that? Wow, man, something just was stepping right there, but there's nothing there.
Was it human? Or something far darker hiding in the caves? This forest doesn't just test your courage, it tries to break it. Some places were never meant to be explored.
This video was posted on Jesus Aria's YouTube page. While hiking through the desert, he suddenly stumbled upon something unbelievable. A hidden underground house buried right beneath the earth. At first, it looked like nothing more than flat ground. But then he realized it was an entrance. Inside, there were signs of life. A chair, shoes not in good condition, and even shotgun shells scattered around. The walls are cracked and not in good shape.
Miren nomás.
Answer from him.
Una vivienda subterránea, gente. Uy. Miren dónde vivían. Ahí tenían su silla. Esta era la salida. Casa subterránea en el desierto, amigos. Ahí para que lo miren ustedes. Y no lo estoy inventando. Ahí para que vean. ¿Cómo lo tenían todo enjarrado?
Who lived here? Could it have been a shelter or something darker? He wondered if this place had been used to hide kidnapped people deep underground with only a small air vent to breathe through. The thought alone was chilling. Would you keep exploring a place like this or run before it's too late? From eerie to bone-chilling, this next clip drags us even deeper into fear. Fort Spooky shared this video on YouTube. Cheadle Asylum. Built in 1766, one of the first mental health institutions in England. In 1998, the asylum finally closed its doors, but even before then, rumors had begun. Nurses claimed they had seen dead patients wandering the corridors. A nurse once swore she saw a dead patient wandering the corridors. And since then, countless explorers have reported shadows, voices, and even apparitions. Tonight, they came to see for themselves. At first, only silence. Then, out of nowhere, they saw it. A pale arm slipping across the hallway, as if the rest of the body was invisible. One of them swore she saw a black shadow too.
What? Is it one of your lights?
What?
There was like... just there.
Later, faint singing drifted through the asylum. Not humming, not echoes. A woman's voice. And just when they thought it couldn't get worse, a scream ripped through the darkness.
That was external, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's an external noise.
It was that way, wasn't it, to the right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing we've got to contend with.
Yeah.
Being so open, haven't we?
Thing is, you know if it's in here because of the echo you'll get.
Yeah. That was a scream.
Yeah, that was a scream.
That was in here. Did you hear
That was really close. after our torches. I reckon someone's trying to get in. Or walk around on the rubble downstairs. Can you hear it? It stopped, hasn't it?
So, the question is, were they alone in Cheetal Asylum? Or did something from its tortured past welcome them inside? The horror doesn't stop there. This next moment is even harder to forget. Adam Mark Explores, a YouTuber, shared this creepy experience while in a haunted house. They were deep inside a haunted house, exploring its dusty halls, when suddenly, bang! Something slammed against the door of the room they were in. The handle rattled violently, as if someone or something was desperate to get inside. Their hearts pounded.
This is the creepiest thing I've ever witnessed in my life. We were exploring an abandoned house, and something was trying to open the door to this room.
Hello?
There's no one in here. There's no one in here.
Who could it be? Another explorer? A spirit? Gathering courage, they slowly pulled the door open. But the room was empty. No footsteps, no figures, just silence. The only thing waiting for them was a mess, objects all over the floor, as the room itself had been torn apart by invisible hands. So, what do you think? Was it a ghost trying to make itself known? Or something darker, toying with them? Things take a darker turn in the next clip I came across. Action Adventure Clips posted this video on YouTube. While hiking through the mountains, they stumbled upon something strange, an opening carved into the rock. As they got closer, they realized it wasn't just a cave. It was wide, deep, and eerily structured, like an abandoned mine that hadn't been touched in years.
Whoa. Oh, yep, there is a lake, boys.
A lake?
Oh my gosh. That's where we're going? Yep.
Rock bridge.
The air grew colder the further they looked inside. Rusted beams held up the dark entrance, and strange markings covered the stone walls. It didn't feel natural. It felt like a place that should have been left hidden. Would you dare step inside, knowing you might not find your way back out? What if the silence wasn't really silence, but someone or something breathing in the dark? Some doors in nature aren't meant to be opened, and this one might have been sealed for a reason. Another clip, another chilling moment that's hard to explain. M.A. Journey shared this scary experience on his YouTube page. What started as a peaceful hike in the mountains quickly turned into a nightmare. Out of nowhere, a blizzard slammed into him, icy winds tearing through the trees, snow blinding every step. He wasn't alone, though. His dog had followed from the very beginning, and together they fought against the storm. Through the white haze, they found it. An old, abandoned forest cabin. The door creaked as he pushed it open, the air inside colder than it should have been. They huddled there through the night, listening as the wind screamed and clawed at the wooden walls. But here's the thing, he never forgot that night. The way the cabin groaned, the way the dog stared into the dark corners, growling at nothing he could see. Would you have slept in that cabin? Or stayed awake, wondering if they were really alone? What happens next is the kind of thing that keeps people awake at night.